Welcome back to Storytime Family. So, how do we connect the dots? I will share with you another story. And I remember being woken up early one morning. It was like 5 o'clock in the morning. And I could just feel like so many thoughts, so much information coming through. And anytime I pick up a piece of paper to write, I would get tired of writing because it would, to me, it's like it would never stop. And so I picked up my computer and I began to just type what was coming through. And I literally I heard wisdom whisper. And at the time, I didn't know the abosom of wisdom was Shashat and Tehuti. But I heard wisdom whisper, now that I have your attention, I can speak. Listen, all the doors appear closed to me. And that's why I said when I was talking about the stones and picking up the stones and hearing the stories, that what people would call a depression was like a pressing down into the realm of spirit. So if we understood that when we're doing everything that we can and it appears like these doors aren't opening no matter how hard I try to force them, there's something taking place at another level. And your Nanonome and Samadhi are seeking to get your attention. Because I had literally, I just stopped trying. I stopped trying to sell my house. I stopped trying to find work, and it looked like I just gave up. But me giving what looked like me giving up was just a surrender, because wisdom literally said, now that I have your attention, I can speak. And the most amazing thing happened. It was like the windows and doors of, I would say at the time, heaven opened. And as I began to type, it was like I was typing a literal program for a community. All the words, everything was coming together. But more importantly, there was a story that was unfolding, and it was my story, but it was connecting that story. The abosom, my abosom was helping me to connect, not helping me, they were connecting all of the dots for me. All of the disjointed experiences that was disjointed to me because I couldn't really see the roots or anything. I knew I had these experiences, but I wasn't able to make the connection. And as this story was unfolding, they were literally helping me to make the connection between all of my varied experiences, very painful experiences. But there was a thread that was being neatly woven through each of those experiences. And I was seeing things and being shown things that I literally could not have seen before. So there are some doors that do not open from the outside. There are some doors that the lock, as I said with that, well, not the man who I almost got the house from. There was no lock on my side. But yeah, there's some doors that they don't have any lock for you to turn. There's no knob for you to turn. That door has to be opened from the inside out. And so when you reach a certain level, and it's not like we know what that level is, but when you have literally filled the space and with everything that is needed, it's like you're building this stairway up to this next level, and then you get there and the door opens. It's not magic, because if you could see behind the scenes, you would actually be able to see all of the steps that are taking place, all of the steps that you were led to take, all of the places where you literally followed your guidance. And so it not necessarily having to do with us doing every single thing we think or we know, because I was being in that experience with the stones. those empty places within me were being filled. And so when they were filled to a certain capacity, my Nano opened the door to the next level. And they helped me to make sense of my experiences. So right here is a story, because I said I went through narcissism. I didn't know what that was. And I use that word, but really it really is overshadowing. And we've all experienced it, but not really, because it's not talked about in those terms. It's just pointed to the narcissist as, you know, they're the ones with the problem. But the fact that we're so overshadowed means we have the same problem. We're not displaying it in that manner. And I can remember I did a basket brigade. It was Tony Robbins basket brigade. And I was off of work and I was ill at the time, but I didn't know what was wrong with me. This is the time where I said, something is wrong with me because I can't pull myself together. And I was supposed to meet somebody at a store that wasn't close to me. And so I went to meet them. I got there about an hour or so early, and my dad called me, and it had been a long time since I had spoken to him or my mom, just because of what I was going through. And so I spoke to him. I let him talk to my youngest son. They hadn't spoke to him in a long time. And then I went into the store. And when I was leaving the store, I hear someone call my name. And I'm like, who knows me in this store? Like, I believe I met the lady outside before I went into the store, and she gave me the turkey for the basket brigade. And as I'm leaving the store, I hear my name called, and it's my cousin, and I haven't seen her in so long. And I had just and it's my cousin on my dad's side. I hadn't seen her in so long. She's a little bit older than me. And she always told me, she said, your dad was supposed to protect you growing up. He should have been the one to protect you. I had a trouble, well, I say my mother had a trouble relationship with me. I can't say I had a trouble relationship with her because I was too young to form any relationship as such. And I had just finished talking to my dad. This is the night before the basket brigade. And I come out, and she had told me years earlier, your dad should have protected you. And I didn't understand it. The next day was a basket brigade, and I didn't know how it was going to turn out because I had 100 families that I had agreed to help feed, families, not individuals. And I was always doing things in the community, helping other people. So I thought it would not be a problem, to get volunteers to help, but it was a problem. And that day, the place was overflowing with help. And we fed 100 people. It was incredible because I don't know how. Well, I know how. My ancestors and ancestresses, they boosted me up, and everybody came together seamlessly without any instructions or anything from me. It was too many people, and I didn't have help before, but everybody pitched in, and I saw at my weakest point how everything came together. But in typing this story, I was shown that it was not happenstance that right before I walked into that store, my dad calls, and I hadn't talked to him in a really long time. And then I go into the store and I'm leaving, and then I see my cousin, the same one that said, he should have protected you, he should have, and I didn't understand what she meant when she said that at the time, that he should have protected me. I understand now. It's like, okay, if you have one parent that's being hard on the child, then you have to have someone there to balance it out. Otherwise, that child is carrying way too much pressure for them. They will break under that pressure. And so I literally started typing at 5 a.m. in the morning. I went all day till I went all day until the following day, 2 a.m. in the morning is when I finished typing. And it literally had cleared up my whole life up until that point in time. It's like literally, I said, like the doors of in a Khan they call heaven Asamando, the doors of Asamando open and poured me out the blessing of being able to make sense of my life and seeing the people that showed up and that there was always someone there to protect me, even though I was under heavy assault. There was always somebody that was looking out for me every step of the way. I was never ever alone. So I want you to understand that even if you seems like you're in this battle and it seems like you're losing, you stopping and surrendering what you know is literally giving space for your both of your own soul to be able to feed you the food that you need to be able to go to the next level. And so I just wanted to I just wanted to share that with you, that there's some doors that you are not going to be able to open. Those doors will be open to you when you reach a certain level, and you will know it when it happens. All right, Ashe.